Hey everybody, this is Peter Palmiotti, and this is Making Comics and Art, episode 203. And I'm here for another solo show. And just a heads up, I might not be streaming until next week. It's just a lot of miscellaneous things I need to take care of. And usually a lot of the running around I need to do is in the afternoon. So typically I like to do this at 4. Things have been a little crazy, a little off, a little challenging. One of the first things I'll mention is, I mentioned previously I was part of the Genesis crew. I am no longer part of that to a certain degree. I still have the link up on my Twitter. I'll keep it up there for a little bit. The people in that group are a bunch of great guys and girls. And it has everything to do with me and nothing to do with them. I'm trying to find balance, and I don't think I'm going to get any kind of real balance this year with the workload I have and the money I need to be bringing in. It's kind of the topic of today. But I did want to show off this. If you haven't already seen it, this is a cover for upcoming Indiegogo comic. It's a crossover with the guy at the bottom is Tin Soldier. The guy at the top is the Phantom Hawk. And this was a cover penciled by Alan Gold. I get it on my Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. Goldsmith? Man, so many names, too many names. Inks by me and colored by Sigmund Torre, and it's an incredible piece. I'm very, very happy with a lot of the covers I've done over the past year. A lot of which haven't been colored, so I still have many to look forward to. What else do I want to? No, nothing much out here. I will mention, I do post things in my community tab on my YouTube channel, share out and things for you to go check out. EJB, welcome. It says great looking cover. I agree. I'm really happy with it. I'm gonna have to grab a copy of that. I got not too long ago the 2 issues of Tragedy, and I didn't get the first issue. The first issue I did a couple of prints, but he did make them covers on his Indiegogo campaign of that. That's Philip Russard's comic and creation. But I did get a cover of the piece I did for the second issue. And I'm eagerly awaiting Global Frequency's Mavericks with my cover, among other things. But that's neither here nor there. I'm working yet again on this is Wildcat for the Wildcat anthology. This is page 8 of 9, so just this page and the next. There's not a lot of. I meant to water my quill pen. That's okay. I use my X-Acto blade to clean it, but you could also use water or a combination thereof of both. I will mention, like in this video and the past, I don't know, 6 videos, if I've done everything accurately, you'll see in the video description box, I have a link to the fundraiser I have for stray cats. That goes on for less than a day. That either ends tonight or tomorrow. I don't think it has a countdown timer of any sort. I forget exactly what time I started it, so I figure it ends at the same time. But as far as I know, it's still going right now, but it's on its last leg. And so if you want to donate to that, you better get in there quick. And I've been posting updates on the fundraiser page itself. Essentially, I'm going to be dealing with my foster cats first, because they'll be moving to, I got 2 girls here, and they'll both be moving to Boston. And Friday, 2 days from now, they get an appointment to be fixed, but I'm going to have to also get them shots. And then I'm going to be looking into exactly how they'll be transported from here to Boston. So I'm in Kentucky. So it's a big distance. And, I know cats, and I know cats don't love to move or wind up in new homes. So there's definitely going to be an adjustment period. And hopefully the ride won't be too horrible, but it more than likely, like, they'll not be traveling by plane or train. They'll be traveling by car. So more than likely they'll be transported via 3 different cars. So I'll see how it goes. Like, I have people to talk to and connections to make. But that's for Rana, and that's for Crash. Both are girls. Both will be fixed. Both will have their shots. That's definitely what they need to cross state lines. I have to get them cages, which cost a pretty penny. And yeah, I'll inquire about, like, when should I feed them? Should I feed them the night before? What time will they be leaving? All that jazz. Once they're taken care of, I have one of the strays that will be fixed next Monday. But above and beyond that, I want to make sure my cats are in their new homes first, because it's going to be like, I'd never attempted this before in my life. So I'm going to be worried about them every second they're out of my hands. And then I can, start using the money to get the rest of the strays in my neighborhood fixed, one by one, or however that works out. So thank you, everybody who pledged, everybody who shared, everybody who invited people to the fundraiser page, all that sort of chaos. I haven't really, I didn't push it extremely, but it is. I did do updates, and it all, everything's time consuming. Um, but one of the things I wanted to mention, so I've had a little bit of a artistic block, and I have been drawing the past couple of days, 3 or 4 days. I've been out of out of the habit of drawing every day. So I'm not super thrilled with the quality of the work I've been producing. But that's okay. I'm keeping at it, and things will get better. But I did check out Joe Sontag's show the other night, and he was talking all about Creech, which is Greg Capullo's independent creation from the 90s that he did 2 volumes, and he's coming back for a third. I believe it's going to be published by Image Comics. And I never read it. And so, he flipped through both volumes. So it was really cool to see all the work, Greg's work from that. But if if I ever have money, I might pick it up. And that's sort of the subject of today, which I'll be getting to in a moment. But yeah, artistically speaking, I could be in a better state of mind, and watching Joe's show definitely, inspired me and motivated me. And I know part of what's really interfering with that is I've got all this what I want to call miscellaneous BS life stuff that I need to take care of. The cats being one of them. It's like I love them and everything. I kind of sort of wish I could find somebody in the neighborhood to take the girls, but I'm just so happy that they will be going to a new home where they will be loved, and they won't be alone. So just gotta take care of business. And it's all these things outside of being creative and working on my art, and working on things I should be inking and all that. It's really screwing up my focus. But yeah, what I'm facing of late is because honestly, like, there's one, I got many art related, comic related projects going, and only one is bringing me in money at this time. So I have to sit down and see if I can increase my finances. If you ever read sort of my tagline to the title, which in this case it says, the title is Money Doesn't Grow on Trees, and what I wrote in the video description box is like, that was a favorite saying of my mom's. And for some reason, I think we had a money tree in the backyard. I don't know. I do know we had a fig tree back there at some point. Growing up in Brooklyn, a little plot of land in the backyard. Mostly it was taken up by our garage. Which, there was almost never a car in there because it was way in the back. and we sort of shared the driveway with our neighbor. But yeah, my mom said money doesn't grow on trees, and I get that. I got it back then, I get it now, and my reluctance to dive into more work is because I'm already too busy, and I've been working for months on getting out of my current situation of having too much miscellaneous things. But at some point I'm going to say, okay, I need to take some time and do something to bring in more money. And more than likely that will be making up some prints, because that's the least cost and the most return. So, my favorite piece of all time that I ever drew was the alien drawing I did years ago, which I'll be making into a print. And I got some other stuff, like there's some Aquaman pieces I did with friends. And I'm sure I could find some good art that I could turn into prints. So, not this week, and I really want to test out the quality of what I'm going to print. So I don't have a Staples or a Kinko's in town. So I'll probably just go online, order some different variations, have them do it, and then have them ship it to me. I looked into doing that. Like, we have 2 print shops in town. I looked into doing that with them, but it would be the same difference. It would be like, I order it through them. They, some other branch of theirs does it, and then they have it mailed to them, and then they call me to come in and pick it up. And it was like, I might as well just go online and do it through Staples. So that's something you can look forward to down the line. Yeah, like my expenses are running higher and higher, and the money I'm playing with is becoming less and less. Once I get rid of a couple of things work wise, then I'll be able to breathe easier. Definitely the graphic novel being the biggest thing. Once that, it's going to be an Indiegogo. Once that Indiegogo is fulfilled, then I'll get paid on that. So that would be very nice, but it won't be until after I'm done with the book. Technically probably a month and a half after I'm done with the book, because I'm going to get my inks on that done before it goes live, which in that case it'll be easier to promote knowing my part of it is done. Then of course I got retro to deal with, and I'm going to need all sorts of money for all the merchandise I'm doing for that, as well as the printing of the book itself, and the shipping and all the packaging I'll need. So yeah, I'm going to need a lot more money coming in. And like I said, I can't take on any more work at the moment. I'm just driving myself a little insane. You know how it goes. But you gotta love it, Once I get through this phase, then things will be easier. And I've still been meaning to put a collection of projects I'm involved with and where you can pick up their books, that sort of thing. All right, what's all that? Spinning. But yeah, it's like back when I had a 9 to 5 job, money was easy to handle. It looks like I might be broke at the end of every week, but I'd also have money again, dependably every every new week, because I got paid back in the day on a weekly schedule with my day job that paid pretty good. I know many things have changed, and it's rare that anybody gets paid on a weekly schedule anymore. But for right now, I got some money coming in every now and then. I definitely have my Patreon money coming in, and then every once in a while, somebody throws me something. So, doing my best with like what I got to work with, which once I do get past all this, I don't plan on being in this position ever again. It's like right now I got too much work, not enough money coming in, too many people I'm answering to, and I'll be making the shift to doing more of my own work. So I definitely won't be in this position. But it's like it's tough for independent creators. Some completely funding out of their own pocket. Maybe they have day jobs or saved up. I know I saved up some money, and this was years ago when I spent all that. But this has always been a long-term sort of goal that I knew it would take me time to get to. It's just like the cats outside really like put a wrench into things, an added wrench I was not expecting to deal with. But luckily, like for the time being, it's been nice outside, and I've actually haven't seen as many outside, at least not in my immediate neighborhood. I get the typical 3 that show up. Like there's the black cat, there's Pudgy, and maybe I see Meow Meow, maybe I see one of the others. but it was like just 2 weeks ago, it was like 12 of them out there. And luckily, like, there's other spots for them to go to, I guess. other homes that will feed them. But I have been putting out, like I got a donation of dry food and wet food, and I've been putting out in my backyard bowls of food. So I'm not sure who's eating that. If it's, it could be my cats. But I have seen the black cat. I have seen the red cat, Redsy, coming out from back there. So, it definitely alleviates the crunch in the front, my front yard, where they converge. And lately, also a factor is, is not only stray dogs that come through here a lot, but I have a number of neighbors that have dogs. And, I'm sure if the stray cats hear a bunch of dogs barking, they're less likely to come by. So it's crazy. It be crazy. So while this page is simplistic, I am adding a little more detail than is here. I've decided I'm not going to go too crazy. And I'll put a little work on the last page. I'm hoping like between word balloons and sound effects, that they'll fill out these pages. Speaking of cats, I think one's going to jump me. Hopefully not. I hear one of my cats in the bedroom waking up. There's a couple of them inside. The weather has been, nice lately. And I actually been thinking of, maybe I should change the time in which I do these streams, because it's only been in the 60s and I'm already feeling like 4 o'clock, it's already uncomfortably warm. And while, yes, I have AC, it's like it might be, nicer time to do it. Before it gets warmer, like once it gets to 3 o'clock, then the sun really hits my front window, and that's when it starts heating up my studio. And I don't like to keep AC going like some other people. Like, I only use AC if I have to. So how is everybody doing? What are you guys working on? Anything at all? I know this is like not the typical time I stream, so it is not my usual crowd of people. I know there's already a bunch of other shows on that are typically on at 7, including my buddies at Global Frequency. Sorry, I just had to jump on and do a stream today. Like I said earlier, like I might not be streaming the rest of this week. No matter how much I want to, it's like I'm tied up with too many things. Trying to always clear the deck of what I got going on. Seems like an endless battle. Seems like a losing battle. But gosh, by gosh, I'm gonna do it. I swears to you. But yeah, get this done. And I got 2 covers to finish. Then I'll be diving back into the graphic novel. As well as retro. And I mentioned before, it's like really gonna push my skills in regards to how much I can get done. So I'm gonna probably start that next week, regardless of everything else going on. Meaning really just getting pages of the graphic novel done. Over all else. Yes. Okay. Do. But I want to say shout out to all my new subscribers. Shout out to whoever's been watching my videos of late, whether live or afterwards. Things seem to be moving in the right direction. I'm not currently able to monetize or have super chats right now, even though I'm over 1,000 subscribers. But definitely by June, I think that will be the case. This past year, it's like I took a lot of time off to focus on improving my skills. Which I definitely upgraded, because it didn't felt like they were faltering. So I spent a little more time focusing on the quality end of things, and I'm happy with the improvements I've made. Yeah, there's so much more I could do here, but I'm adding little nuances, but I don't want to spend a year and a day on this either. And frankly, I should have had this page finished already, but we've only worked on it on camera. So it goes sometimes, so it goes. I am a sort of advocate that, I really see, like, I'm not one of those that says, comics don't make any money. I see it as, you know, not as something you just jump into and make a ton of money, but, you know, if you put in the time, put in the work, you can make a good living making comics. Um, and once I start releasing books, we'll see if that's the case. And see if I can make that happen. I truly believe it's possible. I hate all the people that really have nothing but negative feelings towards all this. And it doesn't, yeah, doesn't do anybody good. It's like all the, like I used to work 9 to 5 job, and there'll be those people that, you know, show up to work all day every day, but like every second of every day it would be like, oh, I hate my job, I hate my job, I hate my job. Now what the hell are you doing here? You're not making it fun for us. So shut up and go away. So that's sort of like how I feel about working in comics. It's like I want to be hanging out with the people who see this as a way to make a good living, see this as something that isn't dying but is actually thriving. Because that's what I believe to be true. I believe that, there's more independent creators now than ever, and so many ways in which online and programs and whatnot are making it easier to make comics and deliver comics to people. Sure, there's challenges, like, I believe in the printed comic, and it's like every year post office prices are going up, and it's getting ridiculous. But also at the same time, people's wages are going up, and people pay way more for video games and video game systems. So comics are still cheaper than that by a long shot. Boom, boom, boom. So yeah, I was in a bit of a artistic funk. I'm still not 100% through it, but you essentially put in a day's work, and sometimes it just it gets easier. And so not everything I drew recently was 100% bad. There's always room for improvement, but I got this commission, and honestly, I've been thinking about commissions too. It's like maybe I'm just not a commission guy, or I'm not a commission guy right now, because my focus isn't there. So it takes all my energy to work on something I probably don't want to be working on. So I really just want to ink comics at the moment. All right. Some of his lines on this are really tiny. Afraid of things all bleeding together, but I think it will print nicely. I've seen a couple of pages that my co-host Alison is doing the gray tones and doing the lettering. I haven't seen any lettering yet, but gray tones are looking nice. It'll be good to completely be done with this story. Then I'll shift into promotional mode. That's one of the things I want to put together, a list of like all the crowdfunders that have my work in them. Like if I did cover work or pinup or whatever. Make it easy for people to track down what's happening out there. Make sure I'm always a valuable asset to the group, to the team. I try. You know what they say, there's only so much time in a day. Filling all in black, then figure out what needs to be tightened up. There's those people out there that are saying, oh man, I'm not getting paid enough for the quality of work I do. And to a degree, that's, you could say that and do that. I definitely want to increase my value, my abilities. But I'm not going to bitch and moan about being wronged or whatever. I'll just work harder on being of more value. Because I got a big, good feeling that like what will bring me the most money in the end is not working for other people, not working for the big companies, the big two. What would bring me the most money is working my own project and doing a good job each issue and not taking long between issues and just delivering a good product and delivering it on time. And I certainly haven't done that with retro issue 1. I'm way behind my projections. I thought I was financed going in, but things happened. I'm still paying for it. But I did take the shot knowing that, nothing was 100% guaranteed. So my bad too. But, it's like the amount of mistakes I've made on my first full campaign. I learned so much. that, definitely next time around, it would be like eating cake. It would be so much easier. Yeah, I mentioned before, it's like, I want to get, unlike the first issue, I want to get the second issue completely done before I start promoting or even talking about crowdfunding. So, won't be anywhere near the mess that the first one is. But even having limited funds, which, I've been working off of limited funds, if you didn't gather that, I could still manage my money better. I don't live an expensive life, but, there's like little corners you could take, get something slightly cheaper, don't put as much money out. It's definitely, my lifestyle is not expensive at all. Boom, 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 Michael. Welcome. That looks really good. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, let me realize you're seeing this from a distance because I spin it so much that if I had it closer up, you might freak out. But let's see if I can get a little closer. And if I make it a little darker, maybe. Is that better? Yeah, you can see that. It's a little washed out. Let's see. Yeah, fewer lobster dinners. I gotta cut out eating lobster 5 times a week. Yeah, it looks a little weird, but if I make it brighter, it's a little washed out. Contrast. Contrast is better. Okay. And you get the general idea. Let me zoom out. So other than some action lines, that's mostly done. This is really just like suggestion. I might even, yeah, let me map some of this out. Sometimes you use a French curve. I could do it by hand. I just want to make it a little more precise. Let's see. What you doing, Ripley? My kitty cat woke up. She's hanging around. So if yes, that works. Okay. Don't you jump up here. I'm talking to you. All right. Hey, what are you doing? You can't see her, but she just popped up in my face. Or maybe you could. I wasn't watching the camera. Let's see. Okay. I just want to make sure I get this accurately. Yeah, I mean, one of my hopes is like, oh, I don't know if you heard. Yeah, that stray dogs. All right, I'm gonna open my back door. Hold on a second. Hang on. Boy, better not be messing with my cat. Sorry about that. Yeah, there's definitely. I could tell when a dog barks and it's like right up in my backyard, and that's what it is. You know, I told him to go away, but he just stared at me. It's like there's a clan of small dogs that maybe they once had a home, maybe they do still have homes, but they sort of roam the area. It's really freaking annoying. Um, you know, it's almost like I'm into, taking stray cats off, you know, off the streets, and I've gotten so many stray cats homes and took in so many myself. And I'm doing all this stuff for the stray cats that are around now. Um, and I love dogs. You know, I used to have a dog when I was younger, and I wouldn't mind having a dog when I, have a home that is suited for a dog, as well as having cats around. But these dogs are really annoying. And if they stop barking at my cats, I tell them to get lost. All right, so 1, 2, 3. I think that's. I'm trying to figure out the dynamics of what's going on here. It's like drawn in, but not drawn in. All right. I'll fine tune it later. I'm just getting some basics in. And plus, it's like I could really mess with this afterwards. It doesn't have to be perfect, especially like these kind of pew 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 action things. I could throw in a lot of splatter if I want, although it would be only page with splatter. um, or like Alison can make it a lot funkier. Yeah, a little bit of an outline. Ripley, do you have to clean yourself on my desk? That doesn't help my concentration. But you're a sweet cat, so I'll allow it for right now. All right, good. Go look out the window. All right, get some more comments. So yeah, wow, really interesting. I like the claws in the eye. Yeah, it's fun stuff. Is that a Kohinoor pen? It's a rot ring. These are rot ring rapidiographs. They're not facing it the same way. Oh, okay, there we go. If you can make out the letters, ish. ROTRING, Rotring, however you pronounce it. I knew I had it right at some point, but I'm blanking on it at the moment. These are really good. The reason they're really good, ouch, I just stabbed myself, is because they got cartridges. And even though a cartridge is an extra expense, it's an extra expense I'm willing to take on because I used to have, I think I used to use, how you pronounce it, Kohinoor pens, technical pens. I used to use those, and those used to clog up. They used to get really messy. Not that these are like totally 100% clean, but they are a lot cleaner. I almost never had any major work on them. I take them apart, pop the cartridge out, clean all the individual pieces, pop in a new cartridge and put everything together. And they last a lot longer. Like the only thing, and this is true of any technical pens, like this is the thinnest point I use, which is a 0.25, and it has a really tiny point, which you can't see. Where I'm looking at. You can't see it. Oh, there you go. Sorry for a second. There. It's a very thin point, and sometimes, because I'm not always light of hand, this point breaks. Not breaks, but bends easier, and therefore, then I have to get a new point. But everything's expensive. I have to get going. Love seeing you work. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you coming around. And Landon's here. And he has a question. I have a question for you, Peter. Do you ever get depressed? If so, how do you deal with the depression? I get it pretty bad sometimes. Depression is usually a result of, like, sometimes you're really like, you're so close to a breakthrough, and it's getting over the last hump, the last mountain part, before you see the light of day, and everything seems 100 times worse in those moments. That's like my feelings of it. It's like I usually, like, the hardest thing for me to do sometimes is, like, I'm 90% done with a page or a pinup or a cover, and I can't push myself through the last 10%. So it could feel like depression. It could actually be depression. Lots of things will get you in that state. But how do I get out? Like, sometimes doing something else entirely, not work related or art related or comic related, or like step away from your computer, go outside, ride a bike, go hiking, go see some friends, have a meal outside of your home, like any sort of everyday things, like, well, not everyday things, but like, like if you're too stuck in the habit of working every day, that can lead to depression. Like being inside away from the sun, that can lead to heavy depression. Have I ever? Yeah. Like I don't know any comic people, art people that haven't faced depression or, a whole line of things that, are pretty much all grouped together. Like um depression, non-motivated, you're procrastinating, blah blah blah, whatever, whatever labels you want to put on it. To me, it's all along the same lines. And so, like, I was mentioning earlier, like, I've been in a little bit of a art funk because, what gets me there is not doing my best work, and you can't possibly always be doing your best work every day. So I am going to face depression about that on a regular basis sometimes. Um, and, like for those days that are hard to start, um, like thinking about working is not working, right? And so the solution is to sit down, just say, like one of my worst habits is putting myself in a state of overwhelm. It's like I got way too much going on. That doesn't put me in a good mental state. Um, but if I just say to myself, okay, look, I'm going to work for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, uh, and if I do that, then I'm good. It's like if I put in 5 or 10 minutes of work, then I've done a good job. So I'll sit down and work for 5 or 10 minutes, and then like I forget about it. Like I'll just keep working, like because then once I'm past the first 5 or 10 minutes, then I'm good. Like then I'm over the hump. Um, so like I said, when I get stuck, when I'm at the end of working on a cover or working on a page, and it's like, oh man, it's like I know I'm just like 20 minutes, 40 minutes away from finishing a page, and it seems like a monumental effort I have to put in to finish, to get myself through it. Um, but it's not. It just, it's like it just feels that way. Your brain doesn't work in your favor 90% of the time. Especially like we as artists have to deal with this more than somebody say mopping a floor. Mopping a floor is easy. Like drawing a page and making sure every little last detail is accurate. It's a little more complicated. Um, when you're mopping a floor, you'll also be interacting with other people more than likely. It's like you'll feel accomplishment once you've done a good job, which you'll feel the same way once you finish your comic page or cover or whatever you're working on, pin-up, commission, blah blah blah. So it's more like you really have to distract yourself from. Okay, it's like okay, I'm facing the fact that at the moment I'm in a state of depression and a state of frustration, and I'm pissed at my neighbor. Whatever the case, you know, whatever's set me off and got me into this bad state that isn't making me productive. Um, you have to distract yourself from it. Whatever for sure will distract you is helpful. One of the things I do is like, part of the reason I got a co-host is that I'm not always just talking to myself. Because I could do this when I'm not streaming. And it says, thanks, Peter. Sometimes my depression comes from wondering whether or not I should even be doing art. It's a hard way to make a buck. Yeah. And that's just it. It's like you put value on yourself as an artist, and that's a heavy burden to live with, especially if the money isn't just flowing in. And it's a tough field. It's a tough industry. Entertainment across the board is like, if you want to become an actor, I would say, whoa, that's not an easy thing to do and to accomplish overnight. And not every actor makes, millions. Not everybody is a Ryan Reynolds, who, there's a guy getting all the breaks at the moment, but, that changes, sometimes overnight. But like art, being a comic artist and having a successful career, takes a lot of people years and years. And pretty much what I was saying earlier is like, I've kind of put myself in a situation right now, and at the moment it's highly frustrating because I'm not swimming in the money either, and that makes every little dime, a pain in the ass, because I have to, keep track of every little penny I earn and put out there for things I need and, for survival. But, it's just a matter of, what's the saying, sort of like the AA meeting, you know, deal with the things that you do have an effect on. It's like I know Landon here does commissions, and you know, he seeks out work and does comics and whatnot, and it's like, so if you're feeling depressed, maybe the thing you should be doing is putting a little more time into seeking out paying work, like, because once you have a couple of gigs, you know, under your belt, or like, to do, you probably won't feel as stressed, therefore depressed. Depressed is just another way of saying stress for me. Everything leads to being stressed. But you just, you pick yourself up every morning and say, well, these are the things that I can handle right now. These are the things I can have an effect on. These are the things that can make a difference in what I'm doing right now. I don't always draw with Repeater F, but it does make it easy. I see a lot of people using markers in the same way. I'm not necessarily a marker guy, and I don't have a lot of different variation markers anyway, if I was to go that way. But I love throwing down ink on pages, and because my cat is like essentially over my shoulder, and I'm not inclined to open up my ink bottle at the moment, and I'll only be streaming a little bit longer, so Um, but yeah, it's like anybody who's being stressed, feeling stressed, um, you could also just talk to a friend. Like, like I've made plenty of friends in the industry so that I have people I can talk to that would know what the hell I'm talking about. It's like, oh man, I'm so stressed out. I'm so, like depressed. Like I've been working my ass off and I'm not seeing any results. I'm not getting paid better. I'm not getting any good gigs and yada yada yada. And they know, like they've been there. They gone through the same things. They'll talk me down. And they'll say, you're just being silly. Or whatever the case. Thanks, Peter. You're a nice guy. I try, man. I try. It's like, I understand, man. It's like I've felt, I've been working 30 years in doing this, and I'm no master of anything, but I've been through every kind of bad day there is, and there's probably still a few variations I haven't been through, but you know, it's like just do as Rocky. Like, it's not about how many times you're hit. It's about getting up when you're hit. Just keep getting up. Just keep going for your dream. Don't give up means, like 100 people could tell you not to do something and you can tell them go F themselves. But the hardest person to say that to is yourself. Hey, Rick Sager, welcome, welcome. How you doing, buddy? Definitely the biggest person that can get in your way is you. So don't let you prevent you from following through with your dreams. And I say this like, like I'm working towards a day where I'm working more for myself and creating my own projects and money, income coming in. So if you don't have enough income coming in, then look at the different ways you have money coming in. Like, yes, you could work on comic books for other people. Yes, you can do commissions for people. But you should have different revenue streams. It's why have a Patreon page. It's not bringing me in a ton of money, but it's the little bit at the beginning of the month that helps me out. I would have I would have been in trouble a bunch of times without it. It always comes in handy at rent time and stuff. That sort of thing. This is looking washed out again. Let me see. Let me see my settings. If I did that, that doesn't look better. If I did that, that doesn't look better. Let me. I don't know. It's like I don't see. It's usually better if I just turn off my light. Look how much better that is. Make it a little lighter. All right, so okay, that's better for everybody to see, but it's me without my light on. Um, I have two lights on, not three. I have one directly in front of me, which is where all the glare comes from. But one day I'll get a more effective light. So it goes. So it goes. So this is really cool, as you can tell. Like he's shoving this guy's head into the ground, and it's almost like a lot of elements on this page are very like Bill Sienkiewicz. Uh, it's fun stuff. But I've been going an hour and 15 minutes, a little over that. If you haven't given me a like already, please do so. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Become a patron. Support the work I do. I try to be there for others as well as try to improve my career. And kind of what I've been saying overall is like I'm in it for the long game, and I got a lot of gears moving. So this year is going to be the hardest year, and then everything after should be cakewalk. No, it should be slightly easier. But I also said earlier that I might not stream the rest of this week. I got a bunch of little things I got to take care of. But you know, I always post the streams beforehand. So if you see on my YouTube page a upcoming stream pop up, then you can check the time and day. And usually I post it at least a day or so ahead of time. Except for this one, I just randomly started up earlier. But yeah, thank you all for coming around. Thank you all for checking me out and watching. Please, really, share this out with your friends on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, wherever. I could always use your help to grow my channel. And I thank you very, very much for spending your time with me. Have a great night. Keep making art. Keep making comics. Peace.